Emani disrespects Marc and throws an object at him. Let's talk about that one.
You did just what I expected.
Yeah.
Oh. Yo.
Emani!
Stop playing, yo.
Not gonna lie, that's a bit, I don't know. I'm all for the jokey jokes. I'm all for the play. Yo, big up Game Bread Football in the house, Wagwan. Big up James Bank in the house, Wagwan. Pre-ban 4 local, Wagwan. I'm all for the jokes and shit, but I'm not gonna lie. If I'm talking to you and we're having a banter, we're joking around, and you throw something in my face and my coffee spills all over me or all over the couch, whatever, just spills, slaps on my face and shit, we fighting. I'm all for the jokes, but don't throw stuff at me. If I overcross the line, if I said something to you that was a bit rude or that got you in your feels, tell me. You know what I mean? Tell me, like, hey, that wasn't cool. But don't throw things at me. If you throw things at me, we throwing hands.
Emani violates Marc Lamont Hill. On the last episode of the Joe Budden podcast, with no Joe Budden around, Emani and Marc Lamont got into an interesting moment on air.
By the way, regarding no Joe Rogan not being around, I see a lot of fans saying the same sort of things. The pod is way better without Joe Budden, sorry. But the weird thing is that when he takes a day break, it's better. I don't think people will be happy about listening to these guys like permanently going forward. Like even for like a month, they wouldn't be happy with it. When he takes a day off, it's fine because he's such a toxic. He's such a like he's a lot in it. Joe Budden's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of personality. He's also incredibly self-centered, narcissistic. So he wants it all to be about him. He does that annoying thing where if a topic doesn't interest him, he'll just switch it and start talking about something else because he doesn't have anything to say, because he's not clued in to the fucking topic itself, doesn't know much about it. So he'll shift the conversation like, oh, it doesn't interest me, so let's change the subject. So, but it's not all about you. It's about the co-host, about the show. So shut the fuck up, sit this one out and just let us talk about it. But he won't do that. He makes it all about himself. So when that person takes a break, it's a refresher. It's refreshing, sorry. But I don't think people will be happy if they went a month without Joe Budden. They'd want it. I mean, they'd want him to still be there because his nutty chaos type energy is a part of the show. So for, you know, small shows here and there, yes. Long term, probably not.
That I think broach the professionalism of the workplace and give some insights into what's going down behind the scenes. Now, for those of you that don't know, Marc Lamont Hill has joined the podcast and he's been a breath of fresh air. And even though he has provided a boost to the show, it's come at the expense of other folks' presence. Now, that's for everybody, not just Emani. But Emani has bared the brunt of Marc Lamont's sarcastic quips, you know, really mean jokes, mostly about Emani being broke and being stupid. So what happened here?
To be fair, I hope Emani doesn't take this personally. To be fair, Emani does look kind of dumb in it. I like him though. I think his presence is warranted and noted. I think the fact that he's got such a long relationship with Joe Budden, I think helps with the banter and stuff and whatever else, maybe because he knows Joe for real. But let's be real. This Emani guy looks like a bit of a dummy. Like, just in the face. Not his fault, but just the way his face is shaped, the way his face looks, his eyes, his mouth, the sound of his voice, the cadence of his voice, how he speaks and shit. He does come across like he's incredibly stupid. So, I think people take advantage of that and mock him for it. And I think he also suffers from another thing, which I think is weird to say, but I think Emani takes jokes well. You know, that's an odd thing to say. I think Emani out of the cast is one of the people who has the thickest skin. I think he's okay to banter with. He can obviously fire back, but he takes jokes well. So I think that inability, that look of being quite stupid in the face, which he might not be, and also his ability to take jokes and to be able to joke back and laugh at himself is, I think, what people take the piss out of him for. If he crashed out a bit more, if he was a bit more like a fucking, you know, angry pit bull, like fucking Ice, and got all upset, people joked about him, I think he'll be fine and no one will joke about him. But then it'll be at the expense of the entertainment of the show. But because he's so affable and chill and doesn't mind people laughing at him on the show, at least anyway, he does get a bit pissy when, you know, Daddy from the Stop says whatever he says about him. I think that's what's contributed to him being regarded a certain way, personally. But I could be wrong.
Here is that Emani was reading a bunch of court documents from the Drake versus UMG lawsuit.
As I run a publicly traded multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation whose operations in over 60 countries.
And to be quite honest, he was struggling a bit. Now, reading skills are not indicative of how smart or dumb anyone is, but he was just having a tough time reading. And then the cast was kind of making fun of it.
Yo, I don't like the way you read, yo. Damn. Get your glasses, bro. I don't like that.
Low key, it was like low key jokes. And Marc Lamont and Flip started to make jokes, but then Marc Lamont was the one that popped it off by saying, "Oh, you read just how I expected you to." So then Emani apparently takes one of those fidget toys that I think Ian Schwartzman placed at the show so Flip wouldn't be on his phone, and throws it at Marc Lamont Hill, who happened to be drinking coffee. Now, the coffee would spill all over his shirt, and he would start yelling out an exasperated laugh, like one of those crazy women laughs when they know that they have something diabolical planned shortly after as a result of the event, like some type of retribution.
Stop playing, yo. I told y'all.
You can't do that,
Stop
nigga.
playing, yo.
That would be
I didn't mean to do that. Fuck that.
She would never get attention for you.
And you can tell that this wasn't planned because the rest of the cast kind of reacts in like some, "Whoa, what's going on?" And Melissa Ford's reaction tells me everything I need to know. She immediately got up, activated, went to get Emani's glasses.
You over 2 over there. You should have. Stop throwing it. Aggressive. You're so angry.
Now, to me, that indicated that she was like, "Whoa, Emani needs his glasses." Good work by Melissa Ford. Good compassion, good empathy. And I think it represents maybe how good of a person she's capable of being. But
let's relax there, bro. Let's relax. Fucking hell. Danny, let's fucking relax. She got him his glasses as part of some comedic relief and for him to fucking be able to read what he was reading on his phone. It's not that deep, bro. That might show how much of a good person she is. Like, what?
we have to get back to this episode and talk about what Emani and Marc Lamont would say later on Spaces. But I think this episode, prior to this incident, the whole cast was shooting at Emani. Not in a very clear way like Marc Lamont, but in a subtle way, with most of them shooting down anything that Emani threw out. I mean, this guy would say any statement and the cast would just disagree with him over the most minor issue.
They said he got signed to Dallas Austin's label. So, nigga, come out, put your project out.
See, Emani, even he got signed.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
God. Jesus Christ. That's such an unnecessary jab. Big up Marc Lamont Hill, man. He's a necessary person. He's a fucking necessary person in that pod. What an unnecessary, mean little jab to throw out there. Fucking hell.
shit.
Damn, yo.
No. He's not.
Pause.
Flip and Mel
and Emani.
And while Marc and Emani were the highlight of this episode, there was also another moment with Queen's Flip.
Green Arrow. Chill the fuck out. Stop. Flip. I don't care. You can't throw at me. I can stand up. I can stand up. I don't like what you did.
All right, Blob.
Now, in this moment, they go back and forth and they have drama. So be mindful of the Flip versus Emani stuff, because I don't think that's going away. I think essentially what it is Marc and Flip know that they can get a reaction out of Emani anytime they want if the show is going bad. On top of this, the whole cast bears a resentment towards Emani. Well, not really the whole cast. Ish and Ice, because remember when Emani first got there, he was talking about, yo, I can see that y'all not really podding, y'all holding the podcast back. I think there's some resentment because of that. And Flip is just somebody who likes to pick at people, and Marc Lamont Hill is the intellectual version of that. Now, in these spaces, Marc, Lamont Hill, and Emani would join and explain what happened, and they would do so in a COE type of way where you couldn't tell if it was real or fake. Remember, COE means content over everything.
No matter what I do, this man is going to consistently continue this. So, like, there's only one resort, and I think it is for us at some point.
He's like he's playing victim after all this.
Yeah, like this victim shit that everyone loves to do. Like, you get that from Melissa. Like, y'all, both of y'all just like.
See, and that's the problem right there. Didn't I say this before he came in? I want to be treated like a lady.
But you'll make fun of reading abilities.
I did.
Oh, this is actually good though. I like this. I prefer beef on podcasts where they're bickering about who can read better aloud or not. That's better. I don't want to hear people stunting about their money, about their cars, about whether or not they have a bad B or whatever. I want to hear them bicker about who has the better reading comprehension and all those other bits and bobs. I love that. Please, more of this, less of the stunting about watches and shit.
I didn't make fun of your reading ability.
What does reading for me mean, Mark? What does that mean?
I mean, you told me where you went to school. You told me when you stopped going to school. And so based on that,
Reading with low T.
Yeah, like for example, just all jokes aside, like you didn't use your finger as you were reading. I thought that was impressive.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Get the strap. Emani, get the strap. Emani, get the fucking strap.
You pronounced every word right. You didn't make any mistakes. You were fluent. Like I thought you did good.
For me.
Yeah.
All right. Yo, Mark, I'll see you Tuesday.
You can see me Monday.
Well, I can't see you Monday, but I will see you Tuesday.
And
I sit here,
I get a cult joke
and I
every
sit
day.
here, and I'm literally going through the things that I'm going through, and yet I still have to come to a work environment where I'm belittled, I'm made fun of consistently, and no one is there to even try to consider how that leaves me going home and feeling. So while people would love to go ahead and paint me as the villain, I think that I'm the victim. And trust me, all of this is being documented. And at some point, if I am reprimanded for anything I do, I will be bringing this up.
Wow.
Stance.
Interesting
That
threat.
was kind
What do you think he's saying there? I don't think Emani is a good enough actor to do that and it not be real or say that. I think he was really upset. And I think he was basically saying to Mark, hey, I'll see you on Tuesday. We can square up and swing. We can square up and throw hands. That's what I think he was saying. That's what it sounded like to me. And it sounded like to me he was also saying if Joe Budden fires him because he decides to have a fight with fucking Marc Lamont to kind of work out their differences and get away, you know, and kind of get through their grievances, that he would use this as a reason. He has documented proof of all the times that Marc Lamont Hill has been poking at him, for lack of a better term, jabbing at him, which would result to him crashing out. So basically, he's collecting evidence in the hopes that it will back up that it will justify his crashing out, which is dumb, innit? It's like murdering somebody, but keeping a documentation of all the things that they've done that would have led you to murdering them in the end. You know, it's like you still murder the person. It's not the same thing, but still, you get what I mean. So it's a bit of a weird thing to do. But again, I think it's real. Even if he's joking, I think there's some truth to the jokes. I think he is actually hurt by the things that Marc Lamont here says, because, you know, even if you're dumb, you don't like people joking on your intellect or lack thereof. You're not going to take it well. So I'm sure it doesn't sit well with him that Marc Lamont Hill talks to him in that way. And Emani is also very conscious and aware of the fans. If Marc Lamont Hill is making him seem as he's the dumb one, the illiterate one, the uneducated one, then it's going to make the fans emboldened to say that to him too. And Emani's already, you know, conscious of that sort of thing anyway. He's had his tiff with fucking Daddy for the Stop. He probably doesn't want that to be perpetuated or said about. So it's a bit annoying. But like I said before, I think he's got one of the thickest skins on the show. On the show. So it's a shame that he's kind of being put through this ringer, because I also think Marc Lamont Hill is kind of picking at him a little bit, you know? So I think if I'm being honest, he would be completely justified to punch him in the face. Not gonna lie. There's sometimes people joke about you, and it can get a little bit excessive. You need to like remind them that, hey, I'm not to be played with. So I think he's deserving of a little bang in the face. Does he deserve is it warranted of an actual fight? Them both rolling up their sleeves and scrapping on the fucking grass and stuff? I don't think so. Is Marc Lamont here in need of a bit of a punch in the nose to kind of settle him down a bit? Like, I know you're guest of the year, you're employee of the year, you're hire of the year, you're this, you're that. They just settle. Yes, a little bang in the nose would settle him a bit. But if you do that, you then give him the win and the layup because he now knows your pain points. You know, so it's like bit of a mad one, bit of a techie one. But big up Danny from the stop anyway. Big up Blood Clot Danny from the stop. Big up Blood Clot Danny from the stop.